It's time for high school football. I'm Jeff Porsche, welcoming you to Griffin Field in Geismar for tonight's REV game of the week between the Dutchtown Griffins and the Ponchatoula Green Wave. Before we talk about tonight's game, let's send it to Megan Mercer with REV, who is standing by with Shannon Hudson of Dutchtown High School to tell us more about REV's Classroom Grants program, Reach a Kid, Teach a Kid.
Thanks, Jeff. As you know, REV takes great pride in investing in the community and our schools, and we recently gave 10 educators in our parish. We awarded them with $500 grants, and they're able to implement their creative project ideas in the classroom. And I'm here with one of our recipients, Miss Shannon Hudson from Dutchtown High School. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. So tell us what grade and subject you teach here.
I teach 11th grade U.S. History, Academic, AP, and also dual enrollment, and also 12th grade Western Civilization dual enrollment.
Awesome. So just tell us, how did it feel when you got the news that you were one of the recipients?
I was super excited because I've been teaching 22 years, and it's the first time that I actually wrote a grant proposal, and so to win was super exciting. And I know there were a lot of really wonderful projects that were submitted, so to be one of the 10 selected was really an honor.
So I know the name of the project was called Engaging in Historical Scholarship. Tell us a little bit about where did that idea come from?
So the students that are in my dual enrollment class are earning college credit through Louisiana Tech, and I wanted them to be able to dig a little bit deeper into historiography and understanding what historians actually do. So this will give them a chance to see the methodology used by the historians in the books that they're going to be reading.
And then what are your plans? How are you planning to implement this program into the classroom?
So the students will actually pick a topic that they want to learn more about in history, and they will actually select the books that they want to read. So we're going to build a classroom library, and then they're going to do a history book report of sorts.
Awesome. So last question, fun question, but tell us any score predictions or who you think is going to win tonight?
I am no good at score predictions, but the Griffs are going to win, so go Griffs.
Awesome. Well, that's it for us here on the field. Thank you so much, Ms. Shannon, for being here, and we'll be right back with REV Game of the Week.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service.
For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Title.
Welcome back to the REV Game of the Week. Dutchtown High School. The Dutchtown Griffins 1-0 on the season will host the Ponchatoula Green Wave, who are also 1-0 on the season. I'm Jeff Porsche. Patrick Email will be joining us in just a moment. But before we get to discussion of the game, we're about to see our pregame performance and national anthem coming from Sheely Bell and the Dutchtown Sound. And it looks like we still have actually a couple of minutes before we go to that. So while we wait, be joined by Coach Email. And Coach, you were at the game last week, Dutchtown versus North Shore. What were your first impressions of the team this season?
Jeff, I've been very impressed with the Griffins. Before the season even started, they came out with a preseason poll and had Dutchtown ranked number 8, and I was a little bit shocked by that.
Yeah.
But when I watched them in a jamboree and watched their first drive against East Ascension and thought, well, I don't know about that number 8. But they put it all together since then, and well, last year they struggled on offense. We'll probably talk about that some more. They put a couple, three touchdowns on the board in the jamboree and put 35 on the board last week. So the Griffins have looked good on both sides of the football.
Right, and they're going to be playing a Ponchatoula Green Wave team that's 1-0 on the season, and they had a pretty big win last week as we look at the coaches and the records. Of course, Ponchatoula coached by Trey Willie. He's at 500 in his second year at the school. Guy Mastretta coming off probably his best season at Dutchtown. But when we look at what happened last week in the 2022 records, of course, both of these teams are playoff teams. Dutchtown lost last year this game 10-7, and we'll talk about that more later on. But when we look at last week, we talked about Dutchtown with a big win over North Shore. Ponchatoula had a nice win last week against Walker, a team that we're going to see week 6 in, at least as far as Dutchtown goes.
Well, you look at the district last week, Jeff, and not surprising. Zachary, pretty good football team, beat East Ascension. Dutchtown wins, kind of expected that. Santamar beating Carver, that was expected. Did not expect Walker to get beat.
Right.
That was a little bit of a shocker. And then Denham Springs taking it on the chin against Mandeville.
Yeah, that was a big surprise, I think, as far as I was concerned, because they're possibly, at least going into the preseason, one of the favorites to win or repeat as co-district champions.
Well, you got Coach Beard, I think, is in his second year there now, and maybe still trying to install his culture there at Denham Springs, but certainly in the jamboree and the scrimmage have not gotten a result in week 1 that they certainly wanted with that new turf field in Denham.
Right. And when you look at the records, you see Live Oak 1-1 and Denham Springs 1-1. Both of those teams played on Thursday night. Denham Springs had a 44-0 win over Glen Oaks. Live Oak played Dunham, and Dunham defeated them by a score of 24-14. You still see on the field the Dutchtown Sound getting ready to perform. It looks like Sheely Bell is on standby right there as the football team to the left is getting ready to head out of the tunnel. So we're just waiting for everything to start up as the ROTC and Color Guard have come out onto the field with the flag. So I think we're just about ready to start. We have a 7 o'clock kickoff, and we're waiting for that. There you see the shot of the JROTC ready to go. So all we're waiting for now, I believe, is the team to head out on the field.
Jeff.
There you go.
Here come the Griffins.
And there's the Griffins. So we are just about ready to go. Great shot right there. As you see the Griffins with the purple and black, wearing the purple jerseys with the black helmets and the black pants, looking sharp here tonight. They're going to take on the Ponchatoula Green Wave, and of course they emulate the Tulane Green Wave with the light blue, baby blue I guess you would say, and green. They're going to wear green numbers here tonight as they're on the right side of the field. You were able to see some of their cheerleaders as they're getting ready to head to the field, as we see the cheer team for Dutchtown. And now you can see in the distance, here come the Green Wave, and now as they head to the sidelines, Ted Babin hits the public address, and we are getting ready for the national anthem from the Dutchtown Sound.
Cross-country and track teams and a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day, Father. Thank you for allowing us to be here, Father, to gather to play. Father, I pray that you would protect each and every one of these players, Lord, that you would help them to stay healthy, Father, help them to play with strength that only you can provide, Lord. I pray that they would play with integrity, Father, to honor your name, to bring glory to you and your kingdom, Father. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem in the Dutchtown alma mater, brought to you by the Dutchtown Sound.
So the Dutchtown Sound with the national anthem, aided by the JRRTC Color Guard. And here's the alma mater. And now we are just about ready for some football, as we're going to get the captains headed to midfield for the coin toss, and then we will have the opening kickoff as we wait for the captains. And it looks like it's going to be on the Dutchtown side, Caden Mackey and Dylan DeSherry. And on the other side, we have number 24, Fuentes James, number 92, Troy Key Butler, number 17, Brandon Matthews, and number 68, Tony Wells. So we'll get to the coin toss, and then we'll see who wins and heads to the field on offense, and then we will introduce the starting lineups, starting with the offensive starters for the team with the football. And we'll make one correction on the Ponchatoula captains. Number 59, Gavin Gill. And then the other two captains here on the Dutchtown side, on the left, you have number 64, Chase Cangelosi, starting center. Then you have number 22, Carter Hanberry, linebacker, and they join Caden Mackey and Dylan DeSherry. And that's your four leaders right there on the Dutchtown side on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Cangelosi been starting for a while at center. Hanberry does it all.
Caden Mackey, we saw him in the jamboree against East Ascension return a kickoff for a touchdown, so he has a big impact.
Big time. And then DeSherry kind of does all the little dirty work. Jeff, I don't know if we thought about it yet, but I'm not sure. But isn't Prairieville High the same color that we're seeing across the field?
Pretty much. I think it's a darker blue than the baby blue, though. But yes, it's green and blue.
Okay, so either next year or the following year, this is the view.
Yep, exactly. When these two teams play next season, Dutchtown and Prairieville, and it looks like Ponchatoula is going to get the ball first. You had a great shot right there at midfield. And so Dutchtown will kick off to Ponchatoula, and we'll talk about the interns out here, as that was a great shot from one of our interns on the field. But Ponchatoula will have the ball first, so we're going to start by introducing Ponchatoula's offensive starters, and they are led by quarterback Bishop Davis. He's number 3, a 5'11", 150-pound senior. And then the rest of the lineup at running back, Andrew Cangelosi and Jace Jackson. Receivers, Corey Jackson, Brandon Matthews, and C.J. Brazil. Then on the offensive line, Malcolm Chester, Travis Brumfield, Grant Gill, Trey Turner, and Gavin Gill. And so that's the offensive starters that we'll see after the kickoff. And after the return, we'll get to the Dutchtown defensive starters, as we are just about ready to start this game. Kicking honors for Dutchtown High will be taken by junior kicker number 97, Manuel Cardona.
He kicked the ball well last week, Jeff.
Yeah, he's a new starting kicker for this team. Back deep, you see number 5, Wyatt Bennett, and I believe that's number 3, Bishop Davis for the Green Wave. And there's a kick toward the sidelines, caught at the 10 and up to the 20, and then stood up. Barely got past the 20, ball on the ground, but the whistle had blown. That return by Wyatt Bennett, but a good stop by Dutchtown's special teams. And now, before we get to first down, let's look at Dutchtown's defensive starters. They go 3-4, and the defensive line, you have Zion Tremont, Diego Spears, and Josh Lewis. That's a good trio right there. At linebacker, Blake Bowie, Mason Miles, Brennan Baker, Carter Hanberry. And then the cornerbacks, Riker Rogers, Lathan Riley, Jeremy Jackson at safety, along with Caden Mackey. Lots of leadership out there, good defense. And on first down, it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and Blake Bowie's going to take him down for no gain.
Nope, we got the ball.
Oh,
Dutchtown's got the ball. They took it away in the scrum.
Oh, okay. So it's a Dutchtown football. That was number 45, Mason Miles, I think may have stripped it along with Bowie. Let's look at the replay and see what happened. It's a quarterback keeper on the option, and Bowie's the one who stripped him right there, and the ball down at the line of scrimmage. And Dutchtown recovers. Great shot right there. And it's 1st and 10 for Dutchtown. We'll get to the offensive starters for the Griffins after this play. They're led by quarterback Ethan Oakwin. And you're going to see Gary Dukes in the backfield with him, but we'll get to the starters in just a moment. 1st and 10 from the 21. And Oakwin's going to roll out to the right. Going to keep it. Breaks the tackle, cuts outside, trips over his own man for maybe a yard. It's going to be 2nd down. Let's look at Dutchtown's offensive starters. Oakwin, we said quarterback. Gary Dukes in the backfield. His receivers are Tyler Adams, Logan Mayu, and Casey McCoy. Dylan DeCharry at tight end. And the offensive line, Aiden Gaho, Jaden Green, Chase Cangelosi, Dawson Davis, Taylor Graham. And now we're at 2nd down. Dukes gets it. And he pushes the line ahead for a 5-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Let's look at the Ponchatoula defense. If you have a chance right here, 3-4, they go Jacoby Berry, Crashad LaFrance, and Troy Key Butler on the D-line. Linebackers Albert Smith, Leighton Bazile, Jacob Robinson, and Jamal Sapp. Cornerbacks Wyatt Bennett, Fuentes James. Safeties Jacob P. and Anthony Vanette. 3rd down and 5 for the Griffins. In the red zone, pass to DeSherry over his head, a little bit behind him, and just maybe a little bit too hot as well. That stops the clock at 10:40. It's going to bring up 4th down. Let's look at the replay, Coach.
Quick fake to Dukes.
Might have been a little high and behind.
Maybe a little bit. I think DeSherry would like to have that back. I don't know. You need me to talk for a minute? That was very well done, getting the starting lineups right there, Jeff Porsche.
Well, got through that. And it's 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're not going to bring Cardona onto the field. They're going to try to get a 1st down right here, or maybe draw them off sides possibly. Let's see if they snap it. 9 on the clock. They snap it. Looking left to Duke, swing pass. Oh, just past his reach. And it's going to be a turnover on down. So a big stop by Ponchatoula as they give up the fumble, but then they stop the Griffins with no points.
That's a little bit unusual for Oakland right there. Kind of a rough series for him. First quarter he rolled out and kind of tripped on his own feet, maybe his player's feet, and then Dukes had a nice run and overthrow. Maybe the excitement of senior year, first home game, and overthrows the Shari and misses Dukes on a swing pass. Would have been close for a 1st down.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. This is their 2nd offensive play. They fumbled on the first play from scrimmage, and then we have a flag before the play begins, and it's going to be a false start against Ponchatoula. So they're going to begin in a hole. So this offense has not started well so far for the Green Wave.
Kind of resembles last year, Jeff, when the conditions, but right now is just kind of self-inflicted wounds. 2 plays for Ponchatoula and 2 mistakes.
Exactly. Let's see what they do right here. 1st and 15 from the 11. And it's a quarterback keeper rolling out under pressure, and the cornerback beats him to the corner. That was number 17, actually free safety, Jeremy Jackson. He did good job basically stretching that out.
Just looking at the stats, Jeff, Davis had 274-yard rushing and 3 TDs. He had 1 attempt, 1 interception last week, so they certainly don't like to throw it very much.
They're ground and pound, so it's going to be 2nd down and long. We'll call that a loss of 2. It's going to be 2nd and 17 with 9:56 left to go in the first quarter. No score. And there's a handoff up the middle. Nice hole. Gets close to the original line of scrimmage as it's going to bring up 3rd down and 11 as we see the replay right there. Handoff right there to Jace Jackson. He gets 6.
The quarterback, it's 3rd down. I was thinking it was 4th down. The first one was the penalty.
The false start, yes.
3rd and 10.
So it's 3rd down, and they're going to call it 10. And the pass, oh no, he ducks and will keep it, and he's not going to get near the 1st down as good pressure there by Carter Hanberry beating him to the sideline right there.
Jeff, that was a great job and a disciplined job by Carter Hanberry because he was right on that borderline of whether he would be hit out of bounds or not, and Hanberry showed discipline, pulled up.
Absolutely, and Mason Miles, the inside linebacker, also had pressure on him, kind of forced him to tuck it and run, and it's going to be 4th down. Ethan Laricella is the punter for Ponchatoula. Back in midfield, you have number 1, Caden Mackey. And gets the punt off, and it's a good one away from Mackey, headed towards the sidelines, but Mackey picks it up at the 40 and gets what he can out of it. That's a nice punt. That's a good job of getting some field position right there in a tough situation.
Bishop Davis is the punter, Jeff.
Okay.
That's probably a change from what we had last week.
Right.
And I watched him in pregame, and it's always scary when your quarterback is the punter because he can take a bad snap and turn it into a first down. And that was he must have got his leg loose because by running a few plays, because that was better than he looked in pregame.
Absolutely. Good catch there. I did not notice that he had stayed in the game, and that's something that we might want to talk about later or look for later if in a situation like that with the quarterback as a punter. 1st and 10, and there's Dukes, and he's going to get close to midfield. We're going to call it a gain of 3. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. This is Dutchtown's second possession of the game. They got the ball at the 21-yard line after a fumble recovery, but they were not able to get points. They went basically 4 and out and gave the ball back to the Green Wave.
That's 2 weeks in a row, Jeff. They go forward on 4th down. Lakeith Harvey. Nice cut.
There's going to be a flag, probably a hold, maybe on 71 right there, Davis. But he gets near the first down, but I think this is going to come back. Harvey is the backup running back for Dutchtown this season. He's the clear number 2, but he might be pushing Dukes a little bit as he had a nice game last week that you saw.
He had 2 nice runs, Jeff, when the game was kind of in question, 21-16. Harvey came in the 4th quarter, probably with some fresh legs, had 2 nice runs up the middle for 2 touchdowns.
He did a good job, that's for sure. And he did a good job right there getting near the first down. You saw the hold, number 8. Jamal Sapp, the linebacker, was campaigning for it, and he was able to get the penalty. And it's going to be 2nd and 16 after they mark it off at the 40. Oakwin, and his arm was grabbed. They're going to say that's a forward pass, not a fumble. Good job right there. I believe that's, again, number 8, Sapp. So Sapp was able to draw the penalty on the previous down, and then right there puts the pressure on the quarterback.
6'2", 205, Jeff. That's not a monster at some level of football, but that's a nice high school football player. Solid, and looks like he's got a pretty good motor when that ball snapped.
Yeah, nearly caused a strip right there. But Oakwin was able to get the ball moving forward. 8:03 clock has stopped. It's 3rd and 16. Oakwin looking around, deep pass downfield. There was some arm grabbing there, and there's a late flag, and I think you may get pass interference right there against Ponchatoula.
You can look at the replay, Jeff. I think if you can see it on there, it was clearly
he was grabbed.
He was definitely grabbed, and while you thought it was a late flag, it just took him a long time to get out of his pocket. He was reaching for it, and he had a long way to throw it because he went from the middle of the field to the sideline with that nice throw right there.
Yeah, and that may get Dutchtown a first down. Let's see how they're marking it.
The only question would be whether he was out of bounds.
There's defensive holding.
They called it holding?
Yes. So, I mean, technically he was holding him. Could have called pass interference right there. I think holding only happens before the ball is thrown, though, and that ball was clearly thrown before the contact took place, but they're going to call it holding, and so it's not a penalty that will give you an automatic first down. It's a 10-yard penalty, but it's still 3rd down and 6, ball at midfield. So it's assessed 10 yards from the original line of scrimmage. 4 receivers, 1 back. Oakwin looking to Harvey, and he overthrows him. So I don't believe any of Oakwin's first 3 passes have been completed. It's going to bring up 4th down in a punting situation for the Griffins. So you see right there, just overthrew Harvey a little bit. He's just a little bit off target right now with his passes. And now, let's see, Casey McCoy, the punter for Dutchtown.
That swing pass, while Matt Flynn made it look easy when he was quarterbacking at LSU, is not an easy throw.
No, it's not. And a fair catch called inside the 20-yard line. Nice punt by McCoy. And fair catch by number 21 for Ponchatoula, Antonio Traxler. So 7:34 left to go in the first quarter. Coach, we haven't seen a first down yet here tonight.
Have not. Offense have struggled after Walker. Ponchatoula scoring 20 last week and Dutchtown putting 35. I thought there would be a few more points put on the board, but halfway through the quarter, almost.
So shotgun handoff up the middle and decent yardage for number 2, Andrew Cangelosi. So he's going to move it forward, and we'll call it 3. Second and long 7 for the Green Wave.
In order for Ponchatoula to be successful, that running back, too, is going to have a good night, because I guarantee you Coach Harrow has the defense keyed up.
Well, he's got a nice run right there before Caden Mackey stops him before he's able to get a first down, but it's going to be a gain of about 5 or 6. And it's going to bring up 3rd and short. We're going to call it 3rd and 1. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 28-yard line. Got to get just past the 29 to get a first down. 6:43 left to go. We may get one more play before we get to the hydration break here in the first quarter. No score. Ponchatoula at Dutchtown. And there's a keeper and stood up. And the offensive line trying to surge, but he's not going to get it. And it's 4th down.
The far sideline came in. He's short.
Absolutely.
No gain.
That's going to bring up 4th down and short. Oh, look at this. They're marking that as a first down. I don't think the Dutchtown faithful agree with that call. I hear no way out there. But the people who matter the most call it a first down at the 29. Interesting. That's a quarterback keeper up the middle, and a nice burst through the hole as Bishop Davis gets not the first down, but going to get a gain of about 8 yards as we head to the hydration break. So now we get a hydration break, and when we take this break, we're going to look at the non-district games that are taking place this week. And as we told you before the game began, on Thursday there were 2 games. Denham beat Glen Oaks. Not a big surprise right there, 44-0. Dunham, smaller school, defeats Live Oak 24-14. And then you get the 2 REV games, Ponchatoula at Dutchtown, West Monroe at East Ascension, Booker T versus Santa Ma, and Walker at Fontainebleau. What stands out for you?
Well, it's not a district team, but Dunham had a big game last week in a shootout with Parkview, 50-something, 56-48. But Dunham's got a 6'6" quarterback that's a freshman.
Wow.
So I don't know his name, but that's somebody that you can keep a lookout for the next 3 years for sure.
So you see Chris Harrell right there on the Dutchtown side calling plays. But what about the other game tonight in district on REV? You got West Monroe and East Ascension. That's going to be a good one.
West Monroe doesn't travel down here too often, and they are in the heartland of Gonzales.
Yep, and that ought to be a good one. Swack and Jimmy Frederick doing that game tonight down the road. It's 2nd and 2 as we head back from the break. Keeper, and now rolling out under pressure. Bowie gets him the second chance. So he sticks to it and gets him, nearly grabbed him for a bigger loss, but was able to keep him from advancing much further, and it's going to be 3rd down.
That was Blake Bowie.
Yes.
With the big play. And I think the Griffins defense will go as their linebackers, and their 2 inside backers, Mason Miles and Brennan Baker, they're replacing 2 senior starters, one of them at Tulane on the travel squad.
Yep.
So they have to grow into their role on this defense.
It's a 10-yard loss. It's 3rd and 12. And quarterback keeps and breaks the tackle and trying to get near a first down. He's going to be stopped about 3 yards short. And that looks like Brennan Baker. You just talked about him. He made the tackle right there, Coach.
Never stop running, Coach.
So you see on the replay, was able to get past the first wave, and then here comes Brennan Baker after number 28, Riker Rogers, makes contact, and it's 4th down and 4. and it's going to be a punting situation. And as you mentioned, Bishop Davis will be punting, and Caden Mackey back deep.
If Dutchtown can break that first wave, Caden Mackey can outrun the 3 guys that's protecting the punter. West Monroe up 6-0.
So,
over.
Very interesting game tonight. East Ascension beat them on the road last season, so they're pretty evenly matched. The punt goes out of bounds here at Dutchtown, and let's see where they're going to spot it. Looks like about the 38-yard line. Yeah, 38-yard line. So Ponchatoula got the first down of the night, not without controversy perhaps, as nobody on this side really thought he was there, but the officials said they saw something that we didn't. But that's a first down, but Dutchtown able to stop them, and so we got our first down of the night. Now Dutchtown's going to get their 3rd drive started right here.
Gary Duke's back in the ball game.
And he's going to get it, and he is hit hard by number 7, Jacob Robinson. And going nowhere, going to lose 2 yards. 2nd down and 12 as we check the replay right there.
They're kind of running that almost like a buck sweep, Jeff, where they're pulling both guards, they're handing it to the running back, and he looked like he's going wide, but he really wants to kind of hit it up between, let the first guy kick, let the second guy wrap right there, just outside the tight end box.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 12 as they're not able to do it. And there's a pass to Sherry, and he drops it. That might have been about 30 or 40 yards further downfield, and that's a tough break for Dutchtown because that one was right in his hands.
Well, you can't blame that one on Oakwant. That one should have been caught, but right now Dutchtown still trying to complete that first pass. They will come back to that, Jeff.
Yes, I think they will. He would have been able to get at least 10, 20 more yards. You saw Vanette, a safety, number 4, and he's got a speed advantage over him, but he would have still gotten about 15 or 20 yards at least. 3rd and 12. Shotgun, Oakland and Dukes. Oakland looking toward Dukes. Now throws a pass wide open and dropped again. Can't blame those two on Oakland. That was Logan Mayo, who was the intended receiver, and it's going to bring up 4th down. So at least one thing that you see right there that's encouraging is that Oakland's passes are more on target right now.
He's picking the right receiver. That hasn't been a problem. He's thrown to open guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's adjusted the flight.
Yep.
Got it on. Now the receiver's got to do their part.
It's going to bring up 4th down. And Casey McCoy, the punter.
More punts than first downs so
Absolutely, by a mile. Antonio Traxler, he's a junior, 5'8", 150 pounds, back to receive.
Kind of surprised that Davis is not back there. They got him back on kickoff. He punts.
Yep. He's a Swiss Army knife. And I believe the contact was made right on time by number 35, Kobe Harris. Great job by Kobe Harris right there, as that was he nearly got to him before the ball, but that was timed perfect. Great job on the coverage right there by the Griffins.
Some of your fans, Jeff Porsche, have commented and said you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Glad to have y'all out there listening tonight. We'll be out here for a couple of weeks covering Dutchtown. We'll have the game tonight. And then next week, Patrick and I will be right back here for homecoming as Covington will take on Dutchtown. But we'll talk more about homecoming later on this evening. And actually, the homecoming festivities have already begun, and we'll talk about that too. 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. And there's a carry outside. And Mackey makes the tackle on number 6, Corey Jackson, on the reverse. It's going to be a good gain of about 5 yards.
Getting somebody else involved. For the most part, it's been Bishop and Cangelosi.
Yeah, you saw little Jace Jackson on the second drive, excuse me. But that's the first time we've seen a receiver get his hands on the ball. And you're going to see that again, and that didn't fool Carter Hanberry. Oh, boy.
Like to see that.
What's that number?
That replay.
Yeah, number 13 with the carry. That's Braden Perrin. But Hanbury just clobbers him right there. The future Southeastern Louisiana University Lion, an early commit, making the tackle right there.
I think he'll have a great career there. You know, a lot of times, defensive coordinators, when they see that jet sweep, they'll send the outside backer or the rover back.
We may get our first pass tonight, deep downfield, and it's up for grabs, and it's tipped away at the last second, and that's number 17, Jeremy Jackson, does a good job of knocking it away from the intended receiver, Corey Jackson.
That
Look
was
on the replay.
15. That ball was intended for number 15.
No, I think that was 6. That was Corey Jackson covered by Jeremy Jackson.
Okay.
So you got the Jackson 2 right there.
That ball was pretty well thrown by Davis.
It was.
It was right there. He gave his guy a chance, just like Jordan Travis did.
Oh, don't talk about that, please.
Sunday night, gave his guy a chance. Good coverage. Dutchtown was the winner of that 50-50 ball.
And this punt a little short. Everybody trying to get out the way, and it takes a Ponchatoula bounce. Lucky break for them. But then, look, Mackey's picking it up. The officials aren't even looking. They just assumed it was going to be down, but he goes to the 40. The official nearest to the ball was basically just kind of jogging towards the line of scrimmage. You see him right there. And then you say, wait, what was that?
Well, what happened, Jeff, was the ball hit a Ponchatoula player, but the ball was not down.
Yeah.
So
that's
Cade Mackey did a great job of picking it up. Nothing to lose. It's already a dead ball going right there. I think, and I may be wrong, even if he fumbles, it comes back to where the ball was hit originally.
I'm not sure, yeah. I'm not sure about that, but
Lyle
you're the coach.
Lyle probably knows that rule, and
I'm not sure.
He'll let us know. Seems like that's the case, because when you down it, you got to pick it up and hold it and hand it to the referee, is what you're taught.
1st and 10, ball at the 41-yard line for the Griffins. And LaKeedron Harvey trying to turn the corner, and second effort maybe gets him a couple. But I'm impressed with Ponchatoula's speed, Coach. They're able to get to the edge just as fast as the running backs can for the Griffins.
There's a reason why this game is 0-0, and there's a reason why there's not too many first downs, is both defenses are playing pretty well.
Last year the game was 10-7, but after this play we'll explain more why that happened. Second down, it was Dukes up the middle for maybe a yard, so it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Griffins with 1:35 left to go. Last year was 10-7. The game winner was a pick 6 in the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. I don't remember which one, but that game was played on grass, and it rained about 2 inches about 2 hours before the game, and the field was just a mess. We had rain this afternoon, but we're playing on turf, and it didn't really affect it very much, so we got a pretty clean field out there, as you might expect. Maybe a little bit slick, but shouldn't impact the gameplay very much here tonight.
And Ethan Oakran was the starting quarterback that night.
And he was injured after that game, and it's going to bring up 4th down as just a carry up the middle for no gain. I'm very impressed with that Ponchatoula defense. As you see down at the bottom of the pile, number 99, Jacoby Berry. He's a big guy, and he does a good job holding the line, and it's going to be a punting situation again. So Dutchtown does not have a first down here tonight, right, Coach? If I remember correctly.
Not at the moment. Jacob Berry, 6'2", 335. You running into a wall when you run into that young man.
So here's Casey McCoy, one of the most active Griffins here tonight so far. No score in the first. McCoy, high, a little short, in traffic. But Ponchatoula does not touch it, and it's going to take a Dutchtown roll to the 26-yard line with 7 seconds left. So if we get one more play, we will probably end the first quarter with no score, but let's see what happens. So basically only one team has threatened to score. That was Dutchtown. On the first play of the game, quarterback Bishop Davis fumble caused by Blake Bowie was recovered by Dutchtown at the line of scrimmage, the 21-yard line. But Dutchtown 4 plays, and on 4th down, pass overthrown, swing pass to Dukes, and so they were not able to get any points. And since then, nobody has really threatened.
No. Dutchtown's had a couple opportunities, had people open, just wasn't able to finish it.
That's a good burst up the middle by number 14, Jace Jackson, on the final play of the first quarter. You want to see the replay right there, Andre, if you can? Okay. Yeah, let's see there on the replay as we get ready to head to break. A nice run there. Mackey with the tackle. That's going to end our first quarter. No score between Ponchatoula and Dutchtown. We'll take a break. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SCC Heating and Cooling, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffin's Sports Medicine Program.
Back at Griffin Field, Dutchtown High School, Ponchatoula 0, Dutchtown 0. Jeff Porsche, Patrick Email. Pretty. If you like offenses, you're not a big fan of that first quarter. 1 first down, make it 2 first downs. The final play of the first quarter was a first down. So Ponchatoula leads the first down game 2-0.
Jeff, the thing that makes me a little bit nervous, if you watch the Jamboree,
yeah,
EA had success between the guards.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Ponchatoula, when they've had creases, that's where they've had creases.
And they're going to try again, and they get 1 or 2, but a better job by the Dutchtown front. We're trying to see who gets up from the bottom of that pile. Hard to see. That's 98. That's
Joshua.
Yeah, that's Joshua Lewis.
So while right there they only got about 2.5 yards, they have gotten 8 or 9, but it's been maybe 2nd and 14 or 2nd and 17, and so they wasn't able to sustain it.
I think what Dutchtown's trying to do is more neutralize Bishop Davis and keep him from getting the edge, and they've done a great job holding him, as there's a pass that's incomplete, and it is a forward pass intended for Corey Jackson. A couple of Griffins were going to chase it, but it was definitely a forward pass. Let's look on the replay. He's throwing from the 39 or 36, and ball hit the 38. So
right now, Ponchatoula's winning the field position game as they were down inside of their 10-yard line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've gradually gotten further and further downfield and pushed Dutchtown further and further back. There's a rollout pass. Caught, first down. Nice pitch and catch there. That's Brandon Matthews, I believe, number 17.
That's Davis's first completion of the year.
Yep, he didn't have any last week. He has as many completions as interceptions.
Well, yeah, he did have 1 completion last week.
To the wrong team, though, unfortunately for Ponchatoula, but it didn't hurt him. They won the game. So,
but looks really comfortable.
Yep.
And Jeff, I remember him last year coming in the game and just thinking, man, if the conditions were such that he could run, he's scared.
Yeah, he is. He can definitely make an impact with his feet. Jace Jackson gets a carry on first down. Now they try that run up the middle, which has been fairly successful.
You'll take 4 yards. I don't think Ponchatoula's really interested in making this a 45-44 game, Jeff. They'll take a 14-10 win and jump on the bus and drive east.
Yep. Mackey and Hanbury on the tackle there, and there's another run up the middle, another 2 or 3 before Jeremy Jackson comes up. We've called his name a lot tonight. He's had a nice game for the Griffins. I believe that was Jackson. If we may be able to see it on the replay. No replay on that one, but it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3rd down and 3, and you're talking about 4 yards average up the middle. If they get that right here, they'll get a first down.
Good job, Dutchtown, holding that water. With Ponchatoula trying to get him to jump to get a cheap first down right there.
Yep. Clock inside of 10 now. 3rd down run up the middle, and Bowie is there and will cut him down a little bit short.
The referees couldn't walk 4 yards upfield on that one, Jeff.
Nope. Diego Spears down at the bottom of the pile. That's the first time we call his name, but he is always an impact player, and he makes the stop as well. No gain. 4th down and 2. Now it's decision time. It looks like the punting unit's going to come. And when your offense, when Dutchtown's offense really isn't moving the ball, it's really probably a smarter move to punt right here.
All right, Jeff, this is fake punt territory.
Possibly.
When you're on the other team's side of the field, 4th down, you got your quarterback.
Yep, he nearly took a knee right there, but he did not. Line drive this time, and another great bounce. And oh, look at this. Looks like they clearly made the right choice right there, Coach, as it rolls all the way down to the 4-yard line. Caden Mackey thought about picking it up like he did last punt, but just didn't have the angle right there.
Well, Dutchtown's had the ball down here before, but they were going the other direction.
Yep. They're going to have to go 96 to get into the end zone, and this has been a defensive battle so far. 3 first downs all on the Ponchatoula side. Dutchtown did improve a little bit on that last drive as the quarterback, Oakwind's passes were more on target. Now just got to get the catching part in sync. Low snap. Whew.
Dutchtown had trouble down on.
Look at this scrum.
That end of the field last week, Jeff. There was a mishandle by Oakwan and Dukes, and the ball ended up in the end zone, and North Shore recovered in the end zone for a touchdown.
You know, and a 9-yard gain after the offensive line push. But the unsung story there was Oakland was able to get to that low snap without taking a knee, because that would have been a safety. He was in the end zone. So he did a good job keeping Ponchatoula off the board right there.
When I was at Army, we practiced with our back at the goal line every day of the week. We just got used to coming out of the end zone.
Yeah.
Because it's a different feel right there when your feet are in the purple, and the purple's not inside the Griffin at midfield.
Exactly. And it's going to be a loss on that play. You see the replay. Gary Dukes trying to get the first down. Cannot. Loses a yard. It's 3rd and 3 now.
Dutchtown need the first down.
Badly. Because
going back to the Shari right here?
Possibly. If they don't, you're probably looking at Ponchatoula with the ball on their side of the field. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to get a punt right there. Dukes just no momentum. As you see, big 99 Jacoby Berry again, the 335-pound man-child out there with the big tackle. It's going to be 4th down, and most likely Ponchatoula is going to get this ball on the Dutchtown side of the field as we are approaching the halfway point of this second quarter. Got a late player coming in, number 28, Riker Rogers.
They're still short. I think Dutchtown's still short one.
Maybe. It looks like I see 3, 6, 7, 9. That's 10 or 11, 26 Highland Rents. They're going to have to call a timeout. So Dutchtown's going to call a timeout. We'll keep it here, and we'll look at what these schools have done the last 5 seasons. As we look right here for Ponchatoula, 2 years ago they were in the state championship game. That was back when they had Coach Tierney. Were the runners-up, nearly won the state championship, and of course the years before that, he had some great seasons, 7-2, and right there. And then you bring in Coach Willie, and he gets them to the playoffs as well. So it's a good run for Ponchatoula.
They're trying to build. They last year 5-6 and lost that playoff game. I think Benton beat them pretty good. And, of course, they got that win against Dutchtown. They definitely didn't pencil that in as a win this year to improve on that 5-6 mark.
Now, Dutchtown, of course, the co-district champions last year, and they won their first-round game against Parkway. And that was the second time in 3 years that they've made it to the regional round. So Guy Mistretta still building his program right here at Dutchtown.
Well, last year we stood at after week 2 and wondering with the season, and it was a credit to those seniors, Pearson Pyron and Dixon Agu.
Yeah, A.K. Burrell and all those guys.
Ethan Fields and Wayne McKinney.
And so Ponchatoula is going to start in Dutchtown territory as we expected right there. Ball at about the 41, 42-yard line. So you brought it up very astutely, very attentively that Ponchatoula keeps on creeping down the field on that field game, I guess what you call it. At a loss for words right here, but field position game. Yeah. Yes, field position game. Thank you.
But I think Ponchatoula's going to have to put it in the end zone. I don't think they're going to kick field goals.
Yeah.
In this game, though they kicked one last year to win 10-7.
1st and 10, and the quarterback Davis give it to Cangelosi, and who was that? That was big Carter Hanberry right there. Let's look at that replay. Carter Hanberry already has 2 poster tackles. Well, really, before that, he was stopped by his own man, number 52, Malcolm Chester. And then that gave Hanberry the opportunity to just clobber him right there.
Yeah, Cangelosi is going to take a break after probably getting a little bit of the wind knocked out of him. Similar to what Jaden Daniels happened to him last week, trying to jump into a crowd.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. So we have the hydration break right now, and we'll keep it here. Why don't we take a look at the all-time records between Dutchtown and Ponchatoula? And Dutchtown's looking for their first ever win against the Green Wave. We talked about it last year. We were there covering that game in the mud and slop, and it was 10-7, and really neither team could do much on offense because the field was just in such bad shape by the end of the game. 2011, I was there, and that was one of the most heartbreaking games in Dutchtown history. 10-0 with senior Landon Collins, and they were, I believe, the 4 seed or the 3 seed, but Dutchtown was unbeaten and ranked very highly, and Ponchatoula came in as a 30 or a 29, and they just manhandled them. It was one of the most shocking games I've ever seen in high school football. Won 28-14, and it really wasn't even that close. But you know, those things happen sometimes.
That's why you don't play it on paper, as they say.
Yep. Now, Dutchtown and Ponchatoula, this is a rivalry that may continue, as Coach Mistretta loves to play those 6-5A schools. You are going to play Covington next week. Last week you played North Shore, so they like those head-to-heads against 5 and 6 5A. And on second down, not much there. That's same guy we talked about earlier, Joshua Lewis, with the tackle.
Yeah. This is the year that you reschedule for next year, the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty good chance that Dutchtown and Ponchatoula will play again for the next 2 years, and they should. Pretty evenly matched teams.
Yeah. It's a fun rivalry, and they're outside of the Baton Rouge 5A schools, the closest 5A school to Dutchtown, distance-wise, pretty much. 3rd and 9, quarterback keeper gets past Spears. He's going to get a first down before he's knocked out of bounds. And so a nice run as Riker Rogers knocks him out, but not before Bishop Davis gets the first down. That's where he's dangerous, Coach.
There's no doubt. It's quarterback runaround, and that was a design draw right there. Successful 8 yards. They were going for it regardless of whether they picked it up or not. I don't think they're punting.
Yeah. It was a 2-down territory, but didn't need both of the downs.
You got 5 minutes left to go in the half. Ponchatoula looking to score, and they get the ball to start the second half.
First down, and the quarterback keeper loses his footing, and that may have affected the play, as I believe that Spears down there at the bottom of the pile.
I'm sorry. Dutchtown gets the ball to start the second half.
That's right. So you see the slip right there. We've only seen that happen once or twice out here. The field is wet. As you got a decent rain, I guess for this year, a decent rain. And it's going to bring up second down and 8 from the 28. 4:35 and running second down run. And runs into a brick wall. Maybe gets a yard or two. And you see Blake Bowie at the bottom of that pile. It's going to bring up third down and 6. Gain of 2.
And Brennan Baker right there.
Yeah. He's made a couple of plays out there on defense. Number 9, inside linebacker. So, again, Coach, 2 down territory right here. So you're looking to get 3 or 4 right here, and then get you a 4th and short situation where you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the ball came out of 3's hands.
And we have a whistle, and
Dutchtown called timeout.
Nope. Yep, they sure did. Dutchtown calls the timeout right there, and that stops the clock. 3:52 left to go. We'll take a break. 0-0. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SCC Heating and Cooling, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffins Sports Medicine Program.
No score at Dutchtown High School. Jeff Porsche, Patrick Email with you. Ponchatoula versus Dutchtown. Ponchatoula possibly in a scoring position right now as we head to near halftime. And be sure and join us at halftime as we're going to see the Dutchtown Sound perform. And then we're going to be joined by the principal at Dutchtown High School, Matthew Monso. His first Rev interview. We tried to get him last year, but he was very busy in his first year duties. And so there's a halfback pass and into the end zone, open and knocked away at the last minute by the defense, and that's number 28 who makes the play, Riker Rogers. As you see, number 13 with the pass, and it's a nice pass from Braden Perrin. But up to the task, Riker Rogers, and it's going to be 4th down and 6, and this is where you're going to go for it, right?
Well, sometimes in games, Jeff, you have 2 or 3 plays. You call it bullets in your gun that you got to make sure you use them at the right time when you can score a touchdown.
Yep, they had their shot right there, and Riker Rogers just spoiled it. And there's a little swing pass, and it's too low, and Dutchtown dodges a bullet. Speaking of bullets.
And because you want to use them when you can score a touchdown. You don't want to use them when they can be tackled for a 40-yard gain, and the 40-yard gain is nice. 6 points is a lot nicer than that. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Mike Janis and Guy Mastretta's approach with 3:43 left. I think you got to run your offense and try to put points on the board.
Yeah, and this is the opportunity where you get the 1-for-1 or the 2-for-2, I guess you could say, because Dutchtown has an opportunity to run some clock and in this half with the football, and then they get the ball again to start the second half. So we'll see if this is a potential swing right here. 1st and 10, Oakland looking, throwing right, and caught by DeSherry for about a 6-yard gain. So first completion of the night for the Griffins.
Yeah, number 5, Wyatt Bennett. That cornerback was kind of in cover 2, and they ran a flat route into him, and Oakland got it there just in time as Wyatt broke on it.
2nd and a long 3, maybe 4. Oakland and Dukes in the backfield. And it's a pass. And Mayo makes the catch and is able to hold on to it after the hard hit, and a 1st down for the Griffins. First down of the night, Coach.
catching throws in a row. Like to see him sneak somebody maybe a step or two faster than the Shari in that same little spot. Maybe sleep Caden Mackey in the game and put him right there, Coach, and see if you can hit him across the middle where he could take it to the house.
2:50 left to go in the first half. That tackle made by Vanette on the previous play, and it's a quarterback keeper, maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. 92, the big man, Troy Key Butler, 6'2", 240 with the tackle.
Oquan checked his first read. He thought he was covered. Checked his second read. Thought he was covered and pulled it. Didn't want to risk it turning the ball over.
2nd and 10 for the Griffins at the 39. No score. Heading near halftime. Pass thrown, caught. There's Tyler Adams, his first action of the game for a 3-yard gain. Still moving forward inside of 2 minutes now.
That's 3 completions in a row.
Yep. Yeah, the ball went about 20 yards in the air, but just about 3 yards forward. But a nice pass there by Oquin. 3rd and 7. Big play for the Ponchatoula defense right here.
Looked like they made an adjustment right here. 4, maybe man-to-man on the Shari right here.
You know he's the weapon that they like. They're throwing it towards Adams, and it's caught. I think he's shy of a first down by about 1.5 yards. It's going to be 4th down at the 47. I don't know if you go for it right here, Coach.
I don't know about going for it, but you realize how far Oquan threw that ball?
That was even further than the last pass.
He threw it from the hash on this side to the out-of-bounds marker on the other side.
And they're going for it, and I think they were trying to have Ponchatoula waste a timeout right there. And so mission accomplished. Now we'll see if they bring their punting unit into the game. And, of course, that's smart because you want to have Ponchatoula with the ball potentially with as few timeouts as possible. I think that's their 2nd timeout that they've called right there. But, what have you seen here tonight so far besides not a lot of offense?
Well, I think this is a key spot right here, Jeff. 4th down and 2. While Ponchatoula hasn't shown the ability to drive 50 yards in a short amount of time, and looks like Coach Mastretta just decided that he's going to punt them down and take his chances. But going into halftime here in a little over a minute, I think there's something that Dutchtown can build on. Oquan's got the right timing and distance and throwing to the right guy down.
4 in a row, too.
And I think that'll help them get some confidence coming out in the second half.
So you got Ponchatoula to waste the timeout. Now McCoy's into punt. Good punt. And it's gonna kick back like a wedge before number 31, Aiden Langvin, comes up with the ball, and it's mission accomplished for McCoy. Ball inside the 15, or inside the 20, about, let's say, the 16-yard line. 1:13 left to go. I want to say Ponchatoula has 1 timeout left. The timeout marks on the game clock are not working. They both say that both teams have 3, and that's obviously not the case. I think both of them may have 1 left.
I agree. I agree with you. Unfortunately for Dutchtown, that ball kicked back.
Yeah.
So when it kicked back, you had to catch it. But if it rolls or just kind of doesn't really, you don't have to down it. You can let a few more seconds run off the clock.
And there's a run up the middle for a few, and that's where Ponchatoula is at a disadvantage, I guess. Without the vertical passing game, you're going to have to try to run for the yards. And Dutchtown's weakness is the middle.
Yeah. It seems as though that Coach Harrow has gotten to Ponchatoula, the OC's mind a little bit by, hey, I can't call Bishop's number as much as I would like to because he's handing the ball off. And I think on film they wasn't sure whether he was reading it or not. He must be reading it tonight.
2nd and 8 after a 2-yard gain. Quarterback keeper trying to get to the edge, and he will. and he's going to get nearly knocked out of bounds late, but no flag thrown, as that was Mackey who flirted with some disaster right there, but a first down by Bishop Davis in the Green Wave.
That was close. That would have been 15 yards, would have put him at a 45 with 27 seconds left to go.
So up close and personal we saw right there. Caden Mackey, number one of the senior captains for the Griffins. And now we're on the right hash with 27 seconds left. Not a lot of time for Ponchatoula. You don't want to put it on the ground right here. The jinx did not work. As pushed back by Bowie and Baker and...
Does Dutchtown call that last time out, force him maybe to bobble a snap, scoop and score? Clock's running. Looks like they're going to let it run out.
Yeah, so 5 seconds left to go, and we're at the half with no score between Ponchatoula and Dutchtown. When we come back from our break, we're going to have the halftime show from the Dutchtown Sound, and then we will be joined by Dutchtown Principal Dr. Matt Monso. When we come back, our score is 0-0. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service.
For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
B.T. Chapman and A.J. Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Title.
We welcome to the field the Green Wave Marching Band and Color Guard from Ponchatoula High School. This year's show is all about the royalty. And who better to crank it up than the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Drum majors, Braden Owens. And Jacelyn Weber. Is your band ready to take the field? Let's hear it again for the Green Wave Marching Band and Color Guard from Ponchatoula High School, along with the Ravettes.
You just heard the performance from Ponchatoula High School's band, and then coming up next, we will get the Dutchtown Sound, and they will perform. And then after Dutchtown performs, we'll bring Dr. Matt Monso on, and we'll talk about some things. And one of the big things we'll talk about is homecoming, and we'll get to some discussion of the homecoming court and some photos and some other discussion about Dutchtown. As it's a very busy halftime, Jeff Porsche and Patrick Email, your broadcasters here tonight. Our score is 0-0 at the half, Ponchatoula versus Dutchtown. Very defensive struggle. Both offenses really having trouble moving the ball downfield, and Dutchtown had an opportunity to score on their opening drive after a fumble, but they were not able to score, and they were stopped on fourth down. Then Ponchatoula late in the first half got the ball inside the Dutchtown 30, and they were stopped on downs. And so both teams had one chance really to score, and neither team was able to get points. And other than that, not a lot of offense, very few first downs, and a good defensive performance at 0-0. Now we're going to move on and catch Sheely Bell and the Dutchtown Sound.
The Dutchtown Sound is sponsored by Tio Jave's Mexican Grill and Piku Builder Supply. The Dutchtown Sound is under the direction of Sheely Bell and assistant directors Daniel Lombach and Connor McElwee. Percussion director is Jonathan Boswell, and color guard director is Connor McElwee. Additional field staff of the Dutchtown Sound are Joel Ballinger, Emily Boudreau, Tammy Griffin, Christy Finley, and Will Kimpole. The Dutchtown Sound is under field direction of drum majors Christian McDowell, Katie Parody, and Gabe Rodriguez. We open tonight's performance by presenting our 2023 competition show entitled Wednesday the 13th.
turned around, nobody would have known who was you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dutchtown Sound. Next, we feature our Griffin girls as they perform to the Stevie Wonder hit, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. The Dutchtown Sound and the Griffin Girls. We hope you have enjoyed tonight's performance. Color Guard captains are Kennedy Jarrett and McKinley Snowden. Color Guard co-captains are Rachel Dixon and Brianna Johnson. Griffin Girls sponsor is Glenda Papageau. Griffin Girl leaders are Captain Anna Barrett, co-captain Tori Petrie, and Lieutenant Captains Alexa Perkins and Addison Abbott.
And we're back, and we're getting ready to begin the third quarter, but I'm joined right now for a halftime interview, a late halftime interview with Dr. Matt Monso, the principal at Dutchtown High School. And welcome, and one of the things I wanted to bring up is this is your second year, so how have you enjoyed your first year and a few weeks at Dutchtown?
Well, thanks for having me on first, and it's going great. I was a teacher here at Dutchtown High, years ago, and so it was great to come back here and serve as principal, and just such an amazing school to be at. I mean, when you look at academically, we're a very, very strong school, an A school rated by the state of Louisiana. Actually got news this week from the U.S. News and World Report that we were ranked as one of the best high schools in the state of Louisiana for, probably 5th, 6th, 7th year in a row, something like that. That's a consistent thing for us. And then, last year was just such a great year athletically and with all of our extracurricular clubs and groups.
Yes.
We had a couple of state titles, playoff berth for almost every sport. It was really a great year to be a Griffin. So it's been wonderful. I'm very, very proud to serve in this role, and year 2 has started great.
Yeah, and one of the things that we're dealing with at Dutchtown right now is an early homecoming, week 3, and actually homecoming activities has already begun. That began today, and one of the reasons for that is because we have a shortened week next week with the staff development and all that type of stuff. So it's that we've actually begun homecoming week technically. And so talk about some of the things that are happening here at Dutchtown for homecoming.
Yeah, yes sir. We began today, had some fun color wars between the grade levels. It was great to see all the kids, all the students dressed in different colors representing their grade level. But we've got a great homecoming week prepared. Going to have our Griffin Glide on Wednesday night. We'll have our parade, on Wednesday night. We've got Monday is Adam Sandler Day. Students can come dressed as Adam Sandler. Tuesday, country club versus country. Kids will be dressed in different different outfits there. Wednesday is dynamic duo. That's always a fun one.
Yep.
Our students are so creative. It's so fun to see what they come up with dynamic duo day. And then our theme is homecoming in New York. So the Thursday is a tacky tourist day. So that'll be a lot of fun. Let the kids dress up, show their school spirit, and get ready for that homecoming game Friday night against Covington.
Yeah, Monday I'll be wearing my Bobby Boucher jersey.
Nice.
One of our former offensive linemen, Reed Davis at Dutchtown High School, gave me that as a gift, so I'm going to be definitely wearing that. And the homecoming court, we're looking at them right there. I'll bring up these girls: Isabella Lakovich, Madeline Oquin, Lanai Scott, Grace Broussard, and J.C. Johnson. You see right there. You want to bring up some? Of the next
Group 2 is Alexia Perkins, Ella Freeman, Dylan Lambert, Ava Glover, and Christian McDowell.
And then our third group, we have Sydney Broussard, Madeline Ellis, Taylor Champagne, Raquel Velez, Riley Wall, and Nicole Dong. So a great bunch of girls right there.
Absolutely. Just phenomenal students, represent Dutchtown High exceptionally well. So be very happy for one of them to be crowned the homecoming queen at the game next Friday night.
Right, and we'll be broadcasting out here, Coach Emel and I, and we'll be out there for Dutchtown versus Covington. So that'll be our Rev game of the week next week. And we're looking like we have to cut the interview a little bit shorter than we had hoped, Matt. But, we're glad to have you out here, and you've done a great job so far at Dutchtown. So thanks a lot for everything that you've done out here so far.
Well, yeah, thank you. It's I'm happy to come up here, and let's hope Griffins come out ready to play. Go Griffs. Let's win this game.
All right. Thanks a lot, Matt.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right, we're ready to go with the second half, and Dutchtown will get the ball as we kick off, and it is taken short as they get across to the 30 to the 34-yard line. That was taken by Aiden Langevin, number 31. And so first down for the Griffins, and they're going to start with pretty good field position after the short kickoff and a nice short return by Langevin right there, Coach.
Thought I was going to lose most of the third quarter to Dr. Monso there, Jeff. I appreciate you getting me back on time.
Well, love to give Monsos a lot more time, but we didn't know that both bands were going to be performing. But we were able to get through the homecoming stuff, and he's a well-spoken guy. He can get to the point very quickly. And on first down, the pass is complete. And that's going to go for about 6 or 7 yards to Mayo. And so that's 5 in a row.
Five in a row. Look like Ethan's got his confidence. They're asking a lot of him, Jeff. He's throwing the ball a long way.
Yeah. Every one of his passes is going horizontally about 20 yards. That was Vanette with the tackle, 2nd and 3. Hand off to Dukes. Close to a first down. And after the first half, a first down would be a cause for celebration as he's tackled by Jacob Robinson. It's going to be 3rd and short.
I think we had more punts than first downs in the second half.
Oh, absolutely.
Need a confidence boost for this offense to pick up a first down right here. A short 2 yards.
Yeah, but they need about 1.5. See if Dukes can get it or if Dutchtown tries to go in the air as they look to the sidelines for the call. Got a little cushion on the right side with the receivers, but they're going to go with the quarterback keeper. First down, Dutchtown, and a lot more. He takes a knee, kind of awkwardly at the 43-yard line, but Oakland on the keeper for a first down.
Yeah, Jeff, they snapped the ball before I was able to talk to you. In the first half, Oakland didn't keep it like he did in the first couple weeks. I mean, he had a long run against North Shore, had a long run against East Ascension in the Jamboree. Has a little extra dimension to the offense.
Absolutely. And there's a pass, and it's caught. Yes, it is complete. That's Mayo again on the catch. And that's a dimension Dutchtown's always like to do. You saw that, you're talking about the quarterback and the running ability and the passing ability. We saw that a lot last year when Oakland was hurt from Pearson Pyron.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's design runs. I think that was a design call, quarterback keeper. I don't know if he was reading that or not.
It's 2nd and 1. You would know better than me, I think. And they give it to Dukes.
That
was
a
short, probably.
A sprint draw that Dutchtown had plenty of success with when they used to hand it to a guy named Dylan Sampson. Yeah, the guy that scored 4 touchdowns Saturday.
Yep.
For Tennessee.
So the ball is they're going to say he lost a yard. 3rd and 2 from the 36. Got to get past the 35 for a first down. And this is the Kedron Harvey. No way. Got past the offensive line. You see 92 right there. Troy Key Butler for the 3-yard loss. Big play by the Ponchatoula defense.
Decision time for Coach Mastretta.
I think that was 23 Bazile as well, and it's a punt, and they're going to try to pin them deep. They got a turnover back deep in their own territory on the first drive of the night. That might be their thinking right now. Let's see if they put the ball on the ground after a field position.
Well, they expecting a fake, Jeff, or they were playing safe because there was nobody deep.
And is this going to roll into the end zone? Yes. So couldn't get the roll that time. On the previous punt, he was able to get it to kick back. He would have preferred it that time instead of the previous time, but we get a touchback right there. And so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Ponchatoula on the 20. And I think you would agree that Coach Harrell's game plan is to prevent Bishop Davis from getting outside, and they, for the most part, did that. But they've had some trouble up the middle.
A little crease here and there up the middle for those guys, but one of the first things that you do when you game plan is what do they do best, and I got to take it away, and they've done a good job of taking Bishop Davis away.
And there's a handoff and breaks a tackle, and he's going to get good yardage outside. That's Johnson, Jace Johnson. He'll get a little over 5. I'm going to call it 7. So 2nd and 3.
And while it's not triple option, Jeff, where triple option or midline, you got to have assignment football. Like you got the quarterback, you got the dive, you got the pitch. Right there, you got one guy on the running back, and he's got to make the tackle.
Yeah, and he was unable to get him. They're going to call it 6 now, 2nd and 4. And Davis tries to get outside, and that was Bowie, and then wrapped up from behind. That's Carter Hanberry, of course. And if there's a hard hit, you guessing 22 is in on it.
Yeah, well, Carter Hanberry comes down the line of scrimmage all the way from the other side to be part of that tackle.
Yeah, I think it was Bowie that strung him out and got him slowed down so that Hanberry could wrap him up.
Yeah. One thing about playing that outside backer position that Bowie and Hanberry play, you're not going to be involved in all the plays because you're not in the middle and you're not on the right side if you're on the left side. But you got to make the plays in space where everybody sees who's making the play.
Keeper, Hanberry strings it out. Now they're going to cut back inside, and that's going to be a loss in 4th down.
That's a great play. Once again, Hanberry, I don't know if he ended up ultimately on making the tackle, Jeff, but he made the play. Great job of stringing it out right there.
Yeah, it's hard to see. Joshua Lewis was a little late on it. Somebody beat him to the quarterback, but he had the other side sealed afterwards.
And I'm telling you, Carter has done that time and time again over his career, just making plays out there, like almost unblocked on the edge.
6:40 left to go. We're already almost halfway through this 3rd quarter. Amazing, no score. And let's see if the field position game works, as the punt is going to go just past midfield. So they're not beautiful punts, Coach, from Bishop Davis, but they always get the roll, and that helps.
And that's why I kind of sighed when it happened again.
Yep. Got a flag.
and because you always say when the ball hits the ground, it's gonna cost you 1.5 first down. So 15 yards and personal foul.
Against Dutchtown.
Personal foul.
Offsetting.
Okay.
So
it must have been a dead ball after the play. Otherwise, they would have replayed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So continue your point about the punts.
And so it's a catch-22 when you got Bishop punting, because if you put two guys deep, then you short a man in case they decide they want to fake it. But sometimes putting maybe Tyler Adams and Caden Mackey back. Now you got two guys that either both on the hash marks or one deep, one shallow, so you can stop that ball from hitting the ground and costing you field position.
So now second drive of the second half for Dutchtown. 1st and 10 from the 48. Lakedron Harvey put the ball on the ground, and Ponchatoula's got it. And so on the other 48, so now Ponchatoula basically has the ball exactly where Dutchtown had it. As you see the strip, and I believe that may have been Seven Robinson who caused it, but Ponchatoula recovers, and that's the first turnover of the night for the Griffins. One apiece.
That hurts, Jeff. Dutchtown's psyche right now.
Yeah.
They gotta be thinking back to last year that we were better than Ponchatoula, but yet we didn't win the ball game, and here we are again thinking, hey, our offensive woes are better. We scored a bunch of points in a jamboree, scored 35 last week, and we sitting with 0. May get some free football here in a little bit, Jeff.
Ball at the 49, they're going to say. And there's a keeper. Spears got the first contact behind the line of scrimmage and then dives forward for 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6 as we head to the hydration break, and our score still 0-0, and we're going to keep it here. And this time we're going to look and talk about Dutchtown's schedule. And, of course, it's the same schedule you had last year. They just flip home and home. So you have the win against North Shore, and then Ponchatoula right here next week is homecoming for Covington, Carver after a bye week, and then you have the district schedule at Walker, at Live Oak. Then you get Santa Monica East Ascension, though, and Denham Springs is the big one, possibly if a sneak preview of the district title game in that one.
And there's some revenge that needs to happen right there, because Denham Springs, after Dutchtown kind of had a lead early in that game last year, Denham Springs was able to come back, and they got a big playmaker, kid committed to LSU.
Yeah, cornerback, I believe. They're going to be a good team. Dutchtown's going to be a good team. East Ascension, they usually get better as the season goes along because they play a really tough non-district schedule. They're playing West Monroe tonight. They were losing 2013 last I had heard. But Walker is expected to be better, although Ponchatoula beat them last week. So it should be a good, interesting district this season.
20-13. EA got to be feeling good about themselves after being down early.
And nothing doing right there, as that's Lewis and Hanbury to wrap up the running back, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8. That was Hanbury at the bottom, and you usually don't see him inside making tackles like that.
Brennan Baker also on the stop.
So now 3rd and 8 from the Dutchtown 49. And rolling out to the right, now going left, wide open, and it's caught for a 1st down and a late hit, maybe a targeting against Caden Mackey, as the catch was made, had to stop for it, and Mackey was coming full speed, and when the receiver had to stop, that's when the contact was made. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't think
it was deliberate.
No, and I don't think he'll get ejected for it. It's
a situation where he was coming full speed and the receiver had to stop. and it looks worse than it may have been intended. But it's a definite penalty as a helmet hit.
That's 15 yards.
Let's look at the replay and see. You'll see he had to stop. Ball was underthrown, and there was Mackey right there, just turned around. And, you know, it's hard because you're expecting that guy to keep on going toward the sidelines right there, and Mackey just catching him.
Ball's a little underthrown, so the guy stops right there, and instead of Mackey kind of running him down from behind.
You know, the underthrown pass may have given him that extra yardage right there.
Good play call, though. Dutchtown was full flow.
And there's a quarterback keeper. Can't get to the corner. Maybe gets a couple of yards. But another good job by the outside linebackers and corners for the Griffins.
You know, that's a third down play, Jeff, that, you know, if you remember a third down play earlier, that was the double pass or the reverse pass that Ponchatoula took. And if that ball's not underthrown right there, that play is going for more yards.
Exactly. That was Bowie who made the tackle on the keeper by Davis right there. But you make a good point. Two potential game-breaking plays just did not go Ponchatoula's way completely. Second down. It's going to be third down and about 4 after the run up the middle. Looks like the interior has tightened up a little bit for Dutchtown so far, in the third quarter at least.
They haven't had those 7, 8, 9 yard creases that they had in the first half. They're in 4-down territory right here, Jeff. So you like a play for no gain.
Yeah.
Some kind of way if you can get a tackle for loss. I don't think they'll put the ball in the air here.
First trip to the red zone for Ponchatoula. 19-yard line.
Mesh point fumble.
It's on the ground and still scrambling, and I think Ponchatoula has it. No, Dutchtown has it.
Jeff, that ball took several bounces.
Yeah, I thought that Ponchatoula had come up with it. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it on the replay. I can't tell who got it. So Davis was the keeper.
7 missed it.
Yeah, somebody's on the ground there. I don't know. Maybe Spears, 0. I'm not sure.
It took, of course, it's not round.
Nope.
And it took some funny bounces right there.
I'm guessing it looked like a single number down there. It could have been Spears or Baker, 0 or 9. Those numbers look very close. 2 turnovers now for Ponchatoula, 1 for Dutchtown. So the last 2 drives in fumbles. 1st and 10 for the Griffins. Rolling out right. Oakland in trouble. Gets free. He's going to run. He's got a first down.
That's encouraging, Jeff.
Yep.
Good decision by Oakland to tuck it.
He made the right choice right there. Looked like he was looking for DeSherry.
Yep. 1 was right there.
8 wraps him up from behind. That's Jamal Sapp. We've called his name a few times tonight.
Albert Smith, 6'2", 220, outside linebacker, running with DeSherry.
Yep. He's got some speed. Able to keep up with DeSherry. We haven't seen that little seam route down the middle lately. Pass complete. That's McCoy. And I think the completion streak is up to 6 now. I'm pretty sure, right, Coach?
They're throwing it and catching it.
Yep.
A lot better in the last 6 minutes than they did the first 6 minutes of the ball game.
It's a gain of 5. Like we said, both of us are looking for that little seam to DeSherry right down the middle. At some point later on in this game, he's set up in that slot on the right.
I think they made an adjustment when, and I don't know how many different formation Dutchtown runs that out of.
Let's look at this replay as it's going to be 3rd down and 2 after the 3-yard gain by Oakland. So good job running off that left tackle.
Yeah, 71 for Dutchtown.
Yeah, that's Dawson Davis. He's set up at the right guard.
Pulling and kicking.
Yep.
Sapp, who we've seen make several plays in this ball game.
So now 3rd down, and we got a split backfield now.
A little different look.
Yeah, first time we've seen that tonight. 3rd and 2. Fake. Complete. Mayo, first down. Moore, past midfield. And Dutchtown moves the ball into Ponchatoula territory. I believe this is the first time they've gotten the ball on their own to the other side of the field.
Nice little play. Kind of, and I don't know if it's good announcing but LSU runs a similar play when Daniels is rolling out and Taylor is right there. It wasn't exactly the same thing.
And now you get the long pass complete again. Oh, look, Mayo. Ooh. Shake and bake for close to a first down. That's about 9. So that's 7 in a row, I believe, or 8 in a row for Oakland.
Long passes. That's tackled by Vanette. Had Jersey, I think. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, he could have gone for a little bit more.
Yep. But they like throwing to the long side of the field.
Well, it causes Ponchatoula to play the entire field.
Yep. 2nd and 1. As a pass overthrown, intended for Casey McCoy. I was about to say if they go long side, it's going to be in McCoy's direction, but I didn't have time to mention it, and there you go. 3rd down, first incompletion for a while.
That was a turnaround because he threw it long before he broke.
Yep.
Key, I keep saying it. When you're a fan or when you're announcing the game, it seems like everything is.
And we have a whistle, and we have a timeout, Ponchatoula, and so we'll take a break. No score, 38 seconds left in the 3rd. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SCC Heating and Cooling, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffins Sports Medicine Program.
38 seconds left to go in the 3rd. Jeff Porsche, Patrick Email in a scoreless battle between Ponchatoula and Dutchtown. The winner goes to 2-0 on the season. Dutchtown driving. This has been their most consistent, longest drive of the night. 3rd down and 1 from the Ponchatoula 39. Oakwin, quick pass. No, not there. Good coverage there by Sapp as they tried to get the swing pass to Gary Dukes, and probably going to go for it right here, I would think, Coach.
Yeah, got to give a shout out to Dustin Roberts because I was actually able to see that play.
Yep.
With the condensation on the window, with the humidity outside and the air conditioning inside, he came out and I was able to see.
Very helpful.
Could have been a close call. The ball was in the air. They had some contact.
It's 4th and 1, and they're going for it. Duke's in the backfield. He's going to keep it, though, and a first down for the Griffins. Down to the 31. So the Griffins get another first down. I believe that's their 3rd first down of this drive.
The difference in the Dutchtown offense in this half, Jeff, one, they continued throwing it and catching it like they did at the end of the first half. But Ethan Oakwans had 3 or 4 carries where I don't know if he had one design run in the first half.
Now it's 1st and 10 again for the Griffins, taking advantage of a Ponchatoula turnover.
Last play of the quarter.
And Duke's right behind an offensive lineman. Now cuts outside and stays alive and gets about 4 or 5 on the final play of the 3rd quarter. But before we go, we see a late flag. So let's take a look at the replay and see what's going on there. Maybe a late hit. That looked legit. Then it looks like one maybe came up and kind of bowed up there for a second. Let's see what the call is.
Maybe a little talking. But Oakwan, the quarterback, throwing a block right there.
Good job. We're still waiting for the official call.
A lot of times you see a quarterback run out there and act like they're going to throw a block. But he actually threw a block.
So they're going to talk about it. They're going to have to spot the ball and then move it to the other side of the field. So they're taking a second to sort it out. Telling the water people to hold off. They're going on the other side, so don't come this way.
Coach Mastretta's making his way to the other end, so it must be against Ponchatoula.
So let's see. Still haven't gotten the call. They're looking in that direction.
If it's a personal foul, it's half the distance, Jeff. So that they're trying to figure out what half the distance from the 25 is, and that'll put it at the 12.5.
Yeah. They're going to mark it, so it is the personal foul. So it may have been the little taunt by number 1 after the knockout of bounds. We're speculating, though. We do know it's against Ponchatoula, and there's an injury and a player going off, number 7, Jacob Robinson. Well, we're going to hope he's all right. But we're ending the third quarter now as they mark it, and it's going to be first down for the Griffins, I believe, maybe second and short when we come back. Our score is 0-0, Ponchatoula and Dutchtown. We're taking a break. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SEC Heating and Cooling, Cotta Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffins Sports Medicine Program.
And we're back, and we're getting ready for the first play of the fourth quarter. 0-0 Dutchtown and Ponchatoula at the 12-yard line, and a pass to the end zone, and there is contact and a flag. And that is definitely defensive pass interference. Is number 5, Bennett, made contact. So it's going to be another first down. As you see the replay, you want to explain what happened with the distance on that last penalty at the end of the third?
Well, Jeff, they marked the penalty off on the south end of the field, and they marked it at the 17.5. We came down here ready to play after the penalty to start the fourth quarter, and it was at the 12.5. So they made it half the distance to the goal, which would put it from the 25 to the 12.5. Originally, they had only marked off 7.5 yards. So they corrected it when they got to the other end. That was a 50-50 ball.
Yep. There was definitely contact with the shoulder right there.
But I think Kyle Adams did a pretty good job of playing defense to a certain extent, too.
Yeah. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty right there instead of the usual 10. So it's going to be 1st and 5. So this is the deepest penetration either team has had tonight on offense as the ball is on the 12. So technically it's a 6-yard penalty.
Yeah, half the distance.
So hard to compute in my head. But I'm going to take their word for it. And Coach Mastretta's not complaining, so it must be right.
Journalism major.
Yeah, I can't do math. We only had one of those in the booth. First down, and Dukes, not quite a first down.
Gary looks to be a little bit hesitant in the hole.
Yeah.
It looked like there was some space. Now, that space could have been horizontal more so than vertical, but he's done a pretty good job. Since about week 3 or 4 last year, Gary has taken over after Dylan Sampson. Had a rough go of it trying to fill those shoes, but the last 7 or 8 games for Dutchtown was really a factor.
Eventually was an all-district player. 2nd and about 1.5. Keeper Oakwin is in for the touchdown, and Dutchtown scores first with 11:13 left to go in the fourth quarter. What do we see here, Coach?
Well, we talked about it earlier. The difference in the Dutchtown offense in the first half and the second half is 12's keeping the football.
And he's doing a good job. He got a lot of yards, probably about 15 to 20 yards on that drive alone. And that is taking advantage of a Ponchatoula turnover, as we'll talk about that when we come back from the break after this extra point. Manuel Cardona coming in to kick, and it is wide left, and our score is 6-0 Griffins, and we will take a break. You are watching the Dutchtown Griffins and the Ponchatoula Green Wave on the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of Dutchtown High School would like to thank Advantage Physical Therapy, SEC Heating and Cooling, Tata Law Firm, Raising Cane's in Prairieville, Ross Downing Buick GMC, Hollis Orthodontics, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Peak Performance Physical Therapy, for their support of our Griffins Sports Medicine Program.
And we're back, and it's 6-0 Dutchtown after the missed extra point. And so Dutchtown scores first, and that was off of a turnover, and turnovers often result in points and can often sway the outcome of ball games.
Turnovers and missed extra points right there, Jeff. That took all that momentum that Dutchtown had created by scoring and gave Ponchatoula some hope that all we got to do is hold them, score a touchdown, and kick an extra point. And now the question is going to be whether Bishop Davis, how he handles being down. He didn't have any pressure to pull it and try to make a big play on his own and see whether he sticks to the offense, whether Ponchatoula continues to call plays where multiple people are involved, or whether Davis becomes the focal point of the offense.
There's a kick taken at the 12, up the middle, now outside. To the right, flag. This is coming back as strung out by number 5, Chaz Smith, as he's able to take down his other number 5, Wyatt Bennett.
So they marked that penalty at the 22, so they'll have first and 10 at the 11, Jeff.
Yeah. So ball is going to be inside the 20 after.
Maybe the 12. Maybe they'll go 10 yards.
Yeah, I can't figure out any of this half-the-distance nonsense.
It's the 12-yard line.
Yeah.
I think it's the 12.
Whatever, math guy. So we are in the fourth quarter. Our score is 6-0, a low-scoring thriller between Ponchatoula and Dutchtown. And we'll be here again next week. We'll talk about that a little bit later, as it's going to be homecoming for Dutchtown High. I'd like to thank Dr. Matt Monso for coming in and talking about homecoming in his abbreviated interview, but was a good sport about that, so thanks a lot. It's first and 10.
How does Andre get the best window of the –
I don't know. No condensation on that side. First down, Davis. Front and back. Hanbury had the back, or had the front. I didn't see who got the back.
Well, once again, that's what we just talked about. How does Davis handle the pressure? The clock's running. You're 88 yards away from tying the ball game.
And from what we've seen tonight, we talk about turnovers, and I brought that up earlier. When you're going to have Ponchatoula pin back this deep, and they're not a big play team, and they're not a passing team, as long as you don't commit a turnover or flip the field, you should be in good shape for the rest of the night. Second down, strung out, not much.
Yeah. Ponchatoula has 2 bullets in the gun. They ran that reverse pass, threw it in the end zone. Third down, they sprinted right and they threw it back across. They're going to need another big play right here, Jeff. I don't know if they're going to wait, because there's still 10 minutes left to go in the ball game.
So third down and 9 is going to be the spot by the officials. 9:48 left to go in this game. Shotgun. Quarterback in a throw. Going deep. Receivers open. And did he catch it inbounds? No, the official coming from the other side says incomplete.
Wow. He had a step.
Yes, he did. That pass is on target. It's a first down for the Greenies.
Well, they changed their mind. Can we have a replay on that, Andre?
We don't have the replay, so that's all right. But I don't know. That's a second first down that on a controversial situation right there.
Well, do
you think the Ponchatoula guys on that side were campaigning for that and helped them out since the play was on their side?
No doubt, but those two guys, they wasn't sure
Yeah.
for certain. Neither one of them were confident.
I'm not sure. 1st and 10. And the quarterback keeper outside, out of bounds. Let's see, no flags. Looked like one of the Griffins, Lewis, kind of escorted him out of bounds, but no flag.
Run out of bounds after a 3-yard gain to the 43. Come back to 2.
And I think that was Mackey who was helping him out, 2nd and 7. So that's a big play. You haven't seen a lot of those tonight from Ponchatoula. That's probably the most yardage they've gotten on. That's probably their longest gain from scrimmage all night. 2nd and 7. Pressure gets away. More pressure gets away. And he's going to take it behind the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11.
That was Diego that had the first shot at him.
Yeah,
about a 6-yard loss.
I think Bowie was there to seal the corner. I think that was also a corner blitz from Rogers.
Coach Harold dials it up every now and then from that short side.
Yep. 3rd and 11. The 39. 6-0 Dutchtown, 4th quarter. .903 remaining in this game. Back in the backfield, Cangelosi with Bishop Davis. Fake pass, and there was contact and a flag. There was definitely contact right there. The official was in the vicinity. At least it looked like a lot of confusion.
Yeah, there was contact. I thought Ponchatoula moved pre-snap.
I don't know. I think we're gonna see the official with the call. Not sure on the replay. Okay, we'll get the replay after the.
I think
official.
The slot or the tackle up top.
So it is pass interference. Now on the replay, it looked like the slot receiver may have moved.
Yeah.
The intended receiver.
Yep, that's what I saw, Jeff.
Yep, 13 Perrin. It's a first down for Ponchatoula. So they've gotten a first down on a long pass and a first down on a penalty. And now they're in Dutchtown territory. Their best drive of the night. Well, their longest drive of the night, we'll say. 1st and 10 from the Dutchtown 46. Looking to the sideline.
9 minutes counting.
Clock moving. Oh, now it's stopped again. And Davis keeps it and gets a yard or two.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to him. 150 pounds, so he runs like he's 150 pounds. It's not one of those backs that 190 that runs like he's 220.
Yeah.
So if you can get your hands on him, of course, getting your hands on him is certainly a challenge.
So 2nd and 8. Ball at the 44.
I'm looking for some sort of handoff to the running back, throw back to the quarterback.
That would be interesting. And that's not going to be it. I think that was Spears making contact with Cangelosi originally and then gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Bowie was right there with him.
So, again, good job by the Dutchtown front. Much better performance in the second half compared to the first half where you were mentioning it a lot. Ponchatoula was getting big yardage up the middle.
See if he goes up to CJ Brazil right here just on a go route to see if they can get a interference call.
Quarterback keeper trying to spread out, and no. Hanberry made the first contact, and Bowie made the tackle. Those two guys on the outside have had really, really great nights tonight for the Griffins.
Well, they're making hustle plays. You've seen Hanberry make one coming from the other side. You just saw Bowie following the play.
think that was Baker, too, who got to him first. He's had a good night, too.
Yeah, and you got to be disciplined coming from the other side because you got to stay deep as the deepest.
Yep. And so the quarterback back to punt. Nobody's back deep.
Nobody's deep.
So they're waiting for a fake. Doesn't happen. And another Ponchatoula bounce. Inside the 10 to the 8. 6:43 left to go. And, Coach, what do you not want to have right here if you're Dutchtown?
Well, we talked about it last time when Oakwan had his feet in the purple.
Yep.
And something that happened last week against North Shore. And got to make sure you take care of the snap first. Hold on to it. Because, punting the ball here after 4 downs and the clock running is not the worst thing that can happen to Dutchtown.
Yep. Not sure of the timeout situation. I want to say Ponchatoula called one at some point. Maybe not. There's at least 2, maybe 3 timeouts on the board for them. The Dutchtown scoreboard is not keeping track of timeouts tonight. 1st and 10 from the 8. And there's a run up the middle by Gary Dukes, his best run of the night. 1st down, Griffins, and they're out of the shadows of their end zone.
That's a big play. Gary, he missed a couple games, not a couple games. He missed the scrimmage in the Jamboree with a hamstring. I'm still not sure after watching him run right there whether or not he's 100%.
6:16 left to go. We're close to that hydration break. So we may get it right here. They don't need to run a play. At this point, I don't think they are. And so we're going to get our hydration break with 6 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. 6-0, Dutchtown leads Ponchatoula. Let's talk about what's going to happen the next couple of weeks here on REV Sports. And we'll be here at Dutchtown for Covington at Dutchtown homecoming night for the Griffins. And on Thursday, you're going to have the John F. Kennedy versus Santa Maria game, and then the other games in non-district next week: EA at Destrehan, Liberty at Denham Springs, Bonneville at Live Oak, and Mandeville at Walker.
Wow. East Ascension, Zachary,
yeah,
West Monroe, Destrehan.
Yep. And after that, we're going to go and cover them against Alexandria Senior High. They've been to the Dome recently. They kind of dropped off since then.
So Destrehan's number 3 in the top 10. Zachary's number 5 in the top 10. West Monroe's number 9 in the top 10.
Yep.
Even when you lose, you're getting serious power points for.
Yep. And you look at it right there. Curtis and Catholic, now they're select teams. But you look at the other ones, Destrehan, Zachary.
Interesting. Can I call it a conflict between John Curtis and Zachary with a misunderstanding?
Yeah.
Neither one of them are playing this week because of that.
Exactly. I heard about that.
Yeah.
That they couldn't decide on who gets the money or who pays the money.
Well, Zachary thought they were getting a home game because they thought the contract said John Curtis was going there 2 years in a row, and John Curtis said, we'll come 2 years in a row if we don't find anybody or find a place to play. And they're supposed to play at the Shrine on Airline,
Yeah,
Jeff.
where the Zephyrs used to play. No gain on that play, though.
And the Baby Cakes?
Yep.
The Baby Cakes.
Whatever. 2nd and 10. Oh, and you got him to jump. So they're going to get 5 free right there.
I wasn't sure if they were going to call it, and 92 just kept on going like, well.
He did it.
You got me. I'll take the L, as the kids say today.
Yeah, note that left tackle, Gaho, did not move at all. So it's make that 2nd and 5. Over at East Ascension, they trail West Monroe with 5 minutes left to go, 27-13. So they need a big comeback.
Aiden Gaho, not seen his first action, played some center the last week, and with Christian And I'm Christian.
I forget his name.
Christian Gotro being hurt is giving Aiden Gaho a chance to get some reps and some playing time. Big first down, keeping the clock running, getting away from that end zone, Jeff.
Yep, Gary Dukes with the carry. And this is where you start to count how much time you can run off the clock. Dutchtown's about 2 first downs away from sealing it without the Ponchatoula timeouts, but they still have 2 or 3 of those. So really, it's about a 3. If they could get 3 first downs, they could potentially seal it.
But Jeff, we talking about the clock running and the clock not running. One of the big changes on Saturday is the clock continuing to run after first down, kind of like the NFL is stopping it. And I hope that doesn't happen in high school.
No. I like high school the way it is right now. Get a couple of yards up the middle. Clock will continue to run 4:06, and now we have the clock stopped as Ponchatoula is going to call a timeout. That's either their first or their second. So as we continue, we're going to talk about those games again. We talked about next week's Rev schedule when we looked at the schedule for next week in 5A, but our live streaming schedule, we talked about next week. You got Thursday, Kennedy and Sanama, Covington and Dutchtown, homecoming night, and then in 2 weeks, we're going to be at East Ascension for Alexandria at EA, and the other games, Swack and Jimmy will be covering Opelousas and Sanama, and as you can see, it's live streamed on Rev Sports 1 and Rev Sports 2 on YouTube. So subscribe to those channels, please. Replay times: Sunday 6 a.m., Wednesday 9:30 p.m., Sunday 6 p.m., Wednesday 7 p.m. Those are the replay times. Of course, you can also watch a replay anytime on YouTube.
Subscribe and smash the like button.
Got to smash that button. Remember, use 2 coats of white.
Second and 8.
Yes. Yeah. This is maybe the biggest series of downs in this game, because if Dutchtown can get the first down and make Ponchatoula call their timeouts, they could run that ball down to about 2 minutes. And they're going to throw it. And there's Mayo. Got it.
Caught it. Flag on the play, Jeff. Let's see if they got roughing.
That may be a roughing, because there's 3 guys right there in the vicinity. Now, number 1 is saying maybe got my jersey grabbed. And let's see.
Gutsy call by Coach Janis coming out of that timeout.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Jeff, last year, Gary Dukes. Griffin's coming back.
Oh, no.
Holding. They're going to replay?
Yep, 2nd and 18.
Last year, Gary Dukes was a starter. He put the ball on the ground a couple times, and by week 3 against Covington, A.K. Burrell was taking the first touch. And it took Gary a couple weeks to kind of get his position back and get the confidence. LaKeedron Harvey just put the ball on the ground. And he hasn't been back in the game since.
Yep.
And they've been handing the ball to Gary Dukes.
And he's answered.
So far, he's answered the call.
2nd and 18. So you have Dukes left. Keeper. And that's just getting them enough to make it 3rd and manageable. 3rd and about 14. So not quite manageable.
Yeah. I think they threw it last time, Jeff, trying to catch him off guard. I don't think you catch Ponchatoula off guard when it's 3rd and 14.
Yeah. And, we've talked about the Sherry. He's going to be – it looks like he's going to be back in to block.
Well,
he's kind of in that motion spot.
Let's see if they throw screen to Dukes right here. They hadn't run that play this year. Last year it was successful early. They went away to it, and then they came back to it in the playoff game late.
I think Mayo may be the guy, too, because they seem to have a little chemistry right now, Oakland and Mayo. He's in the slot. and they're going to keep it. And that's Gary Dukes. Will not get the first down, but it's going to move the ball about 7 yards downfield, and that's 7 extra yards to help the punt, as it's going to bring up 4th down. Now there's some discussion, and we have a whistle. And there may
Ponchatoula called
there's
timeout.
going to be a timeout called by Ponchatoula. So they get about to about 2:35. I think that may be their last timeout.
That was a good timeout, Jeff. That saved them 25 seconds. You know, they're going to get the ball back with 2:15, 2:20. Because Dutchtown has to punt the football right here.
Yeah. We haven't talked about Ponchatoula and their schedule. I don't know if we have a copy of that, but they open with Walker with the win. Now next week they're going to host St. Thomas Aquinas, and then they go straight to district because they got that huge North Shore district. Covington, North Shore, Mandeville, Slidell, Fontainebleau, St. Paul's, Hammond. That's a heck of a district. They got some good teams in that district. A lot of teams that Dutchtown sees. In fact, Dutchtown's first 3 games are against 6 5A schools. So they only have 1 week left before they get into district play, so they need to get ready now. And they're about to get the ball with an opportunity to possibly win the game with 2.5 minutes left in the game, just about. So now a big play, Casey McCoy to punt.
Just got to get the snap, got to get it away. You don't need a tremendous punt. It wouldn't be all that bad if it went out of bounds right here about the 35-yard line right in front of us, Jeff.
Both of the punters have done good jobs tonight. There's a snap, good. And a Dutchtown roll. Now kicks back. 29-yard line, so 71 yards in 2.5 minutes with either 1 or no timeouts. It can be done, Coach, but they haven't done it yet tonight.
Well, their offense throwing the football has been throwing the go route.
Yep.
So, I don't know Coach Harrell's plan, whether or not he bangs on CJ or not, and then plays over the top.
Looks like they got on that far side that they've used a lot, Perrin, number 13. He's also thrown a pass tonight. Now they're going to the other side, complete, but not much, as that's 17, Jackson with the coverage on number 15, Brazil. Clock running, 2:22, 2nd and 6.
The Newman Greenies are beating the Riverside Rebels 21-7 after Newman took care of Hornville last week, Joe.
That's pretty impressive for them. And there's a flag. So the clock stops. False start, so it's going to be 2nd and 11, 2:09 remaining.
Keep everything in front of you, make a tackle.
So now you get to the point where if Dutchtown gets the ball, whether it's on downs or by a turnover, they probably can seal the ball game and take a knee. So it's now or never for Ponchatoula. They have to score on this drive.
Dutchtown's flipping corners. I don't know if they got a matchup they like. Haven't had a whole lot of discussion with Coach Harrows about his secondary. Coach Mastretta's not happy about something.
2nd and 11 from the 28. Low snap, he gets it. Looking deep and incomplete. Just out of the reach of Brandon Matthews. If that was on target, he could have run for a little while. So another bullet dodge by the Griffins. Coverage there by Mackey. 3rd and 11. 1:58.
Put Cam Washington in the game, some fresh legs.
Quarterback drops back. There's that deep route again. Jump ball way out of bounds.
Ooh. He had a step for a minute, Jeff. I don't know if Davis could have thrown it that far, though, because the receiver had to come back.
And it was Corey Jackson, I believe, the intended receiver. And so it's going to be 4th down. And there's 1:51 left to go. If Ponchatoula is out of timeouts, like I believe they are, if they don't get a first down, Dutchtown is going to win this game. 4th and 11. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Ponchatoula trying to stay alive. Davis rolls out. He's got all day to run. He's going to throw it downfield. Nowhere. Nobody home.
Did he pull up with a hamstring?
I don't know. I thought he was going to run and keep it for a first down. It would have been a close call right there. Guys, look how much room he had on the field.
He had.
But then he lets go of it, and he kind of came up lame, it looked like. The throw was kind of awkward. Now, Dutchtown, I believe, should be able to take a knee. 1:43.
Well, the rules change because it's 40 seconds now from the time you snap it. And it's not like it's a 25-second clock.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll know how many timeouts Ponchatoula has left if they take a knee on first down. And it looks like they're into victory formation. So Dutchtown is going to get the win if they can get the final 3 snaps. Mayo back in center field in case of catastrophe.
Dutchtown's going to move to 2-0. When's the last time Dutchtown's been 2-0, Jeff?
It's been a while. Last year they started out 0-2, and a lot of people, myself included, were really worried about that offense because they had scored 7 points in the first 2 weeks, and then you had the switch with the injury to Oakwin, and then they brought Pyron in at quarterback, and like the whole dynamic of the offense changed.
Yeah, I'm sure Oakwin looking to get past next week and saying, okay, now I've gotten past week 3 in the season without injury. So
and last year when they played Covington, who is their opponent next week, their offense really exploded. I believe they got 35 points in that game.
First sneak peek preview that I got about Covington is that they're really good because they normally got them big old tackles.
Yeah. They usually are competitive. I think Dutchtown has had the advantage in the win column, but usually Covington plays them pretty close. And Covington had an undefeated season about 6 or 7 years ago, so they always have a team up the pike. As the clock continues to run, and Dutchtown does not have to snap the ball again, and Dutchtown survives Ponchatoula, winning 6-0, and that will be our final score. As you look right here, and Coach, wasn't pretty, but Dutchtown took advantage of 1 turnover.
I don't think it's the way they drew it up, Coach. The only thing they drew up was a W.
Yep.
And I don't think that's the way they had planned to go about it. But Ponchatoula's a good football team. They're good on defense. They make you work for everything. And they have enough skill guys, and their passing game will get better as the season goes along, Jeff. So I think they'll have a chance to improve on that 5-5 record of last year.
Yeah, and 2 games played in the home and home. Dutchtown outscored them 13-10 in 2 games. So this is a wild stat right there.
1-1 in the series in the regular season.
Yep. And that's Dutchtown's first ever win against Ponchatoula. We're going to take a break and wrap things up. Our final score, Dutchtown 6, Ponchatoula 0. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
REV Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore, all to connect your business with the world. REV is about big business technology with small business personal service.
For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
BT Chapman and AJ Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Dutchtown High School's athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Griffins!
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics. Get to know SEC Heating and Cooling this year. Locally owned and operated by Stephen Conyer since 2013, SEC Heating and Cooling works with residential and commercial customers in Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and surrounding parishes. SEC specializes in preventive maintenance, repair, and complete changeout and installation of energy-efficient central air systems. From professional sales and expert installation of central AC systems to repairs and ductless AC systems, we can handle all your needs. For total peace of mind, call SEC today.
No one teaches you what to do immediately after an accident. Once everyone is safe, your first call should be to an attorney, not the insurance company.
Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you at your time of need. Call the Title Law Firm. We'll walk you through what you need to do in real time.
But you can take advantage of the Title Law Firm's 30 years of experience.
Before you call your insurance, make a free, no-obligation call to the Title Law Firm.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Title.
Welcome back. Our final score, Dutchtown 6, Ponchatoula 0. Yes, 6-0. That's not a halftime score. That's not a first quarter score. That's a final score. Jeff Porsche, Pat Hemel with you as we wrap things up, and we're going to wrap things up on this game, tie a bow on it, and move on to next week because our game of the week next week, homecoming for Dutchtown, Covington at Dutchtown. And, of course, with homecoming, let's take a look at that court again as you look at the upcoming game of the week schedule. But let's take a look at the girls now. And you want to bring up row 1 right there, or group 1?
Group 1, that's Lene, starting in the back, Lene Scott, Grace Broussard, J.C. Johnson, and then in the front, Isabella Ladakovich and Madeline Oakwan.
All right, I'll take group 2. And in the front, you got Alexia Perkins and Ella Freeman. In the back, Dylan Lambert, Ava Glover, Christian McDowell. And I'll give you group 3. There they are.
There they are. All right. In the front, you got Sydney Broussard and Madeline Ellis. Taylor Champagne from left to right on your screen. Raquel Velez, Riley Wall, and Nicole Dong. I got a 2 out of 16 chance, Jeff.
That
would be 1 out of 8.
Those are your algebra kids?
That was my algebra kids. One of them right there still on the screen, Madeline Ellis.
Well, good luck to all of them, and they're going to represent Dutchtown High School very well next Friday. Our upcoming schedule, we're going to be there, Covington at Dutchtown. On Thursday night, Swack and Jimmy will give you Kennedy and Santa. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to be at Ash and EA, and Opelousas and Santa will be the other game on the Rev game of the week. Subscribe, Rev Sports 1 and Rev Sports 2, and you see the replay times right there on Rev Channel 4. Pat, let's talk about the real fast before we go. Let's thank the interns, the crew out there that's helped us out here tonight.
You got a picture of it?
Yeah. Oh, no, we don't have a picture. Like we got
Kayla, Malachi, Christian, Aiden, and William. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, that's the ones we had here
Behind the
tonight, helping us out, and they did a great job. And I know they're learning a lot, and we're glad to have them, and we're grateful for Rev and all the programs they provide for our students out here at Dutchtown High School. So that's going to wrap it up. Our final score: Dutchtown 6, Ponchatoula 0. Dutchtown 2-0 on the season. Ponchatoula 1-1. For Coach Email, I'm Jeff Porsche. You have been watching the Rev Game of the Week.